it for irony and sarcasm.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Why would you do this to us?
Well, you were being sarcastic with me, so I thought, fuck you.
Becca's in an angry mood right now.
Look, okay, Dave, if you are watching this after... Okay, everyone at home, there has been an ongoing issue in which I have to log in and out of our Twitch account on OBS to be able to stream either from my own personal channel or from CarpeDM Live. However, there's two-factor authentication, which means I don't have the code was sent to Dave's phone, which obviously I don't have access to. And then he changed it to make it easier for me, so it was sent to the email, but I don't have access to the email either, so it's still the same problem. I then realised how ridiculous our text chain looked. He has sent me 8 words, not including the codes. I have sent him 55. Just like, I didn't start with counting, but I just want you to know that I'm going through some stuff, and they're all here like, oh, he texts me at 3 a.m. I'm like, at least he messages you. Anyway.
At least he sends paragraphs, he sends some texts.
Yeah, 3 a.m. waking us up.
Oh.
I was like, just take me back and shoot me, and he was like, ha.
I think it really does indicate that, like, we start streams when he is asleep.
Yeah.
Like, this is just like, we're now reversing the roles on him of sending him paragraphs of information when he needs to sleep.
Yeah.
This is why he doesn't watch these streams live, is because
That's why he's messaging us at 3 a.m.
Yeah, this is his nap time. I lost a two-factor authentication fight with Twitch and I had all the information. Right? I love two-factor authentication. It means I have never been hacked on any of my social media platforms. I've never had that issue of people just trying to log in anyway. However, when you have people across the friggin' planet trying to log into this... Anyway.
It's in the same... You're in the same country.
No, but I mean... Okay, don't at me.
The virtual planet.
I get it,
may as well
but
be
still.
the other side of the planet. We've been inside for so
During
long.
the international pandemic, we might as well be. But also, Jank sometimes has to log in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Just saying. And yes, 55
Yeah, but whenever
is written on
Janks
my
has to
hand
log
because
in,
I was
it
getting
goes smoothly, I believe.
That's because it's the
Dave
evening
tries
time.
to suck up to Jenks
Yeah.
at all times. We must all make sure that our characters don't die by his hands.
Yeah. It's a hostage situation.
It is.
Should I actually introduce the podcast now, and we can hopefully just cut this first bit out, so when it goes up on YouTube.
No, let's not cut it out. Dave needs to know. He needs to
he'll
know
know.
how much stress he causes us at the beginning of these podcasts.
Ed has just said, well, as a fan, I'd like to thank you for... thank you for all the... wow, I can't read. For going through all the trouble. I'm having a stroke right now. I can't read.
You did
What
this,
up, my name's
Dave.
Jared, I'm 19. No,
I don't know how to fucking read.
Oh my.
D&D.
Yeah.
You're
Dungeons &
welcome.
Dragons, do we
We
can.
absolutely adore doing this. And speaking of adoring doing this, D&D. What the
Yes.
fuck happened?
A lot.
Yeah. Mainly,
Where do you want to
yeah.
start?
mainly RP.
Yes.
Not really story information, mainly RP happened.
Well, Crimson Petal was a kind of... You've got 2 days to just mince about. So just go about the town and see what you can do.
Yeah. And Elturel, Howdy talk to Ogma.
And had a nice bath.
I don't
Yeah.
know how that worked. I don't know.
I don't
literally
either.
have no idea how my chaotic little monk who has
I
kind
don't
of...
think Janks knew either. I think they're making a
I
top
don't know
spot.
what's happening right now. But like, I want to keep pushing it and seeing how far it can go now. But yes,
Yeah.
the recap.
Multiclass into cleric.
Cannot imagine Hattie as a cleric.
To be a
No.
godless cleric.
Yeah.
Godless cleric.
But yeah, Howdy talked to Ogma. I got a bit of an answer to the Elturel question, how to prepare for Elturel. Kaya and Seymour found out that Sarah Marcos is part of the Hell Riders.
Mm-hmm.
we talked about the amulets from Snipe, and we placed them on the bed, and we just kind of looked over them.
Yeah.
And the 3 amulets Snipe feels like they gotta keep on them all times is the earring, the fragment of the mask, and the torn linen bracelet.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Snipe also doesn't remember how they got the cloak pin that
Yeah.
has been bouncing around the place in the first place.
Yeah, because they got the cloak pin on them as soon as they got dropped into this world.
And Snipe has a decision to make about
Oh,
what
yeah.
we're gonna do about their demon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, Sizzy with Kype and Snaya said, "Hey, I could reincarnate Snipe." If you want."
We can just do a quick stabby stab and...
Yeah.
Pull them off
We'll
and
get to
get a new
relive
body.
their plan.
Yeah,
stick you
Hattie's
to
theory gets to, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think if it comes to that decision and everyone's around and it's like, well, we have to kill Snipe first, I think Snipe will give Hattie the honors of killing Snipe.
I'm curious how Snipe, it's very morbid to ask, but how would Snipe want to die in that situation? Because you need to die, but in what way?
Probably just a quick stab.
Wait, would you
I
be
just,
giving Hattie the dagger? Because she isn't, quite as well versed in daggers as she is in...
I want Hattie to
stick.
beat me to death with the stick.
We talked at some point. I remember us talking about what might happen if Seymour stabbed you with his soul-sucking sword.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would. Snipe would probably be dead.
Yeah.
The only thing that would be left
dead.
would be the.
And then
the
there will be
demon
no
version.
soul to reincarnate.
Yeah. Then I'd have to play my actual backup character.
Yeah.
But
what would be the least painful way to take Snipe out in because of course you don't want them to suffer. Because you need to kill them to reincarnate them.
Yeah. Well, well, it's interesting because one thing's for sure: Snipe doesn't want to be burnt to death because they've already done that. The opposite side to that is technically drowning. That's not comfortable, so maybe not that.
Burning
And
to death.
yeah, maybe. Actually, maybe. I think for in context of the only actual full story I have in the background for Snipe, maybe snapping their neck. Because that was their technical first murder that they ever committed on a living soul, was snapping someone's neck. So
I would love to snap your neck. Or
if they could reach it. If they could reach it.
You can reach it.
You've got to do taekwondo jumping around the room and then just as you're passing, whah!
It would okay, so we get her a stool, but do the
You
honours
big
of
slap
snapping her
Snipe
neck.
so hard that you just punch Snipe's neck out into a swivel.
Yeah. I'm so curious because I feel like there's gonna be some sort of loophole or something that's gonna happen because knowing
interesting.
Janks
Yeah, but
reincarnating a soul into a new body, but Snipe's soul is bound technically to another world.
Yeah.
Is from another world. So how would that function in this world? Would it be the same? Would the soul disappear?
Yeah,
What
would
would
it
happen?
Travel back through dimensions?
Reincarnate, at least when it comes to planes, if a soul's from a different plane, you can still reincarnate it into a different body.
Mm-hmm.
But those are planes, not dimensions.
Yeah.
Or is it kind of
I would be more curious about what would happen when Snipe re-enters their dimension, if they have a different body.
Yeah.
Well, the main idea that the main plan that I would have for Snipe doesn't know it yet, but I'm guessing it's the plan they're going to develop it because Snipe doesn't even know that reincarnation is an option because the sending hasn't reached. The idea I'd have for Snipe is that they need to go back home in the same as they entered it, so technically as half of their mortal soul, half of their demonic soul, and it doesn't matter if that has to be in one piece, they've realized. So if they could just get back their mortal self and their demonic self at the same time, that's fine. So if it's a case of they're cut from being bound to the demonic soul and then they just summon that demonic soul and trap it and bind it to an item and just have that item on them and then go home, they'd be fine. And as soon as they go home, they just sort everything out.
Yeah.
Would it then make that's what I was thinking about as well, is I think it's so risky to sever Snipe from their demon completely.
Yeah.
Because we don't actually know what the motivations of this demon are without Snipe, right?
And we also
Yeah.
don't know if someone could survive, even if like that part of them is a demon. We don't know if they could actually survive with only like half a soul.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I'm just dying. Don't mind me.
It's alright.
Which is why, personally, I think it would probably be better for us to do the binding ritual and risk binding Snipe, because at least then Snipe and the demon are together, bound.
But the issue
into
with
the
that
same
is
thing.
that the binding doesn't last forever.
No, that's
Yeah,
pretty
but
gross.
it would be a like
Yes,
the
but
worst
yeah.
case solution. Exactly, worst case scenario in that instance. Both Snipe and the demon are bound in the object. 30 days later, both of them get released and we're back to square one, right? Like, right? I mean, the worst case scenario, the reincarnate, is that either Snipe can't be reincarnated for some reason because they died of old age, or, you know, something else weird, like the demon goes completely rogue and, you know, does something crazy. There's no good options, obviously.
It's. I feel like binding the demon to an object with Snipe included. It feels like kind of delaying the inevitable, because it just like feels like if you bind Snipe to an object, they won't be dying anymore because they are in an object.
Yeah.
So they have 30 more days to live.
Yeah, but that's enough to find another. I mean, we kind of that's kind of all we're doing, right? I mean, best case scenario is also Snipe doesn't get bound to the object, only the demon gets bound to the object, and we can give the object to Snipe, and then Snipe can keep track of their demon while we figure out a way for them not to die. We can even do both plans. If that works, we bind the demon first, and then if Snipe doesn't get bound, and doesn't die from it, then we reincarnate Snipe. Or we bind the demon and it kills Snipe, and then we reincarnate Snipe. Like, we don't even have to only do one of those two things, right?
We could do 2 stones, 1 bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Just in case the first stone misses, you know?
It's an interesting one. Well, it depends, because it's a case where it's like, if the demon's bound to an object and Snipe has that object, yeah, it should be fine. But if the binding breaks in any form, like the demon side is lost forever. And it's a case where it's like that could be in the form of like just Snipe losing the object. And considering we've already met a couple of characters who were interested in Snipe, they'll probably do everything in their power to make sure that happens.
Yeah.
That's true, you would have to keep a very close eye on that object.
Yeah. Especially if it's a lordling of the abyss, and that's like a very difficult enemy to take down. So it might just
Question
be
is,
as soon
would
as you
you
cross
rather-
paths.
Would you rather have a bound demon that you have to keep track of, or a free demon that you have no idea where they are?
Well, the plan is that, it was the same idea of basically Snipe finds a way to bind the demon away from Artaxis who wants to use it, and then Snipe's mortal self dies, gets reincarnated, so that both sides of Snipe are at least in the same place.
Well, then technically, we aren't where Artaxis is, right? So if Kaya and Seymour summoned the demon and bound it right now in Triel or whatever, I mean, that's not where Artaxis is, right?
No.
And then and then if that killed Snipe,
I don't know is the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also don't know. I mean, so does Snipe want to be fully human, or does Snipe want to reconnect with their, like, what do they actually want outside of all of the consequences of everything that might happen, right?
Yeah.
Personally, what are they most comfortable with having?
Just going home is the main idea, but it's going home to the fullest extent of like including the demonic side and their mortal side, them going back to their normal home. So like not even the demonic side is left behind, because that can just cause havoc. And it's already like,
yeah, but that's
Yeah.
consequent. I mean, like, you as an identity, as a being, you know,
Yeah.
as someone with an identity, are you comfortable with having an identity outside of the demon that is bound to you, or is the demon so much part of Snipe that Snipe wants it back, like, for themselves?
Yeah, currently Snipe would want it back for the sake of self-identity, but I feel like if reincarnation was like the last step for them to like become like properly mortal again, they wouldn't be comfortable with it, but they'd get used to it, and eventually they'd probably be okay with it and realize how cool it is, because technically they died previously and then a demon like spared them and had like this kind of semi-limbo existence. So for them to come back like fully alive as a living being again would be like just a bonus, really. It's like they've been given a second chance of life.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There aren't any easy decisions in this.
No.
No.
Speaking of bad choices, Ed is planning on killing a player. Well, you said player, but I hope you mean character?
Yeah.
Just throw a dice really hard at the player.
Yeah.
Minis can be lethal if you get them at the right angle. And they also had a guest NPC, which I'm still in the process of meaning to message a specific someone about. If I ever remember. Look forward to that. It's such an ominous thing that I've been planning to message them for this long and just never have.
Oh well, we'll come to it eventually.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Aside from Snipe, other interesting things occurring within party members, like Raina. Like trying to contact Eldath and just lol saying, "Hey, bitch."
Don't.
Rolf has taken full custody.
Yeah,
She's
like
jealous.
my. It's yeah.
Is she nervous about that? Does that concern her?
Yeah. Because Eldaf did mention, like, I feel like it's gonna... She basically said, I feel like it's gonna get much harder to reach me from now on. I think it kind of shocked her. Because it's like, oh, fuck. She's really looking at everything I'm doing. Like, every little thing I'm trying to do is with, like, her staring at my back, basically.
It's like consequences for your actions.
Yeah. And I feel like she wanted to break down the moment that happened, because she's like, oh fuck, I'm like, okay, I'm really getting into this and I feel like I'm not gonna get out of it. So yeah, it's something that's really getting to her and getting to her emotionally.
What's Raina's alignment again?
Chaotic neutral, I believe.
I was just thinking that Raina's a good candidate for a true neutral character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so interesting that Lolth has like cut you off from contact with other gods.
Yeah,
does it make Raina nervous? Like, does it make Raina not want to serve Lolth anymore, or does it make Raina more committed to serving her?
Well, the analogy I used to Janks was basically the moment you go abseiling and you step over the edge, and you the first step or two steps you take, the moment you make those decisions and make the decision to go down and you're hanging on the rope, you can't go back. It kind of feels like that for her. Like, okay, I made the first two steps and I need to go completely down right now because there's no way up. So it's what happened to like her being interfered by Lolith trying to contact Eldaf made her realize even more like, okay, she is right now the god I can only talk to. She's the only one I can contact. Then I must live with it. Then I must use that to my advantage. So it
What was that? Sorry, finish.
No.
What was that? You got a vision from her, right? That like connected Hattie with... No, it connected Snipe with all of the gods. That's right.
Yeah, it connected Snipe to all the amulets, and it connected Snipe to the symbol of Eldaf I had in my hand.
And then it connected Snipe to all the other symbols of all the other gods as it went
It was
up.
basically a silk line running from the symbol of Eldaf to Snipe, and then also silk lines running from all the amulets on the bed to Snipe.
So there's like two options, right? Either those connections with all the gods existed
because of what Snipe said at the pool, right?
Yeah.
And they existed because they came into the universe and they were kind of an anomaly, so everyone's been watching with interest. Or it's because she's started a war by saying, yo, anyone listening, y'all wanna come mess me up if this doesn't happen? And then you didn't give a time frame, which was pointed out by Jack.
That's really worrying. The moment you mentioned that to Raina, she's like, fuck. There's no time frame. There's no moment of like failure. There's no precise decision made, basically.
Especially because Reyna asked Snipe, when have you failed? And Snipe said, when I've lost track of the other part of me, which Snipe already has.
Yeah.
So
They technically already failed if they're going by that logic.
Yeah.
So, any moment now, they might just get
I
smited.
haven't technically lost track of them.
Well,
Like-
you don't know where they are.
Yeah, they
I
might
have
not
a
even be
link.
in the abyss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Rip.
If anything, it's just if anything, for like Snipe understands this interest because like Snipe's never experienced gods like this before, like such human gods.
Mhm.
So it's a case where it's like, if these deities so commit to just the actions of one mortal, then they are the most mortal immortals ever. For them to be so obsessed with just like the actions of one person in a huge world that they can just control.
To be
Yeah.
fair, you're not exactly,
Just
John
any
Smith
old
from down
John,
the
you
road.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because usually when I feel like I haven't really read up on this, but usually when someone gets tied to a demon, they become completely demonic.
Yeah.
They have ties to the abyss, and they are basically a demon. So
Or
for
at least they become evil,
yeah.
Yeah.
So for a person to be connected to a demon and then still being them,
Yeah.
without any major consequences, is I think a very intriguing thing for the gods to look at.
So yeah. It's just an interesting thing that Snipe just said. Is anyone watching? It's just
Yeah.
it's a bit in the film where the characters break the fourth wall to the audience. Just like, is anyone actually watching this show?
To which every god that has ever existed turned around and said yes, very closely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I wonder how many gods we could therefore call on. I wonder if you could just like roll up to any temple and be like, yo, what up? Can I
Sup?
get some advice?
And just actually give some advice to Hattie through Orgma.
Yeah, no, the Orgma thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about Hattie.
Yeah.
But Snipe, then Reyna, now Hattie.
I didn't expect it to work. Honestly, I didn't.
Well, you
Like,
rolled really
Hattie-
well,
Yeah.
so that's very lucky.
Yeah. Hattie was kind of like, other people do god stuff.
Don't leave me out.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not me? Like not caring that she's had like no religious experiences before. She doesn't. She's like they're there, but like you do you, I'll
That's
do
it.
me. Like
Yeah.
she's not all that bothered. But to be like, I have a quick question, just about this
Mhm.
one thing, and actually get like a vision. She's like,
Yeah. I did something. Ah.
Yeah. And it's such a cryptic one as well, because it was the case where it's like, well, you managed to make contact. Oh, but your track record on worshipping me is not that good. I'm just going to use
Go
some...
through the
I'm
book.
going to give you the waft, just the slight
Yeah.
smell of a hint of what to do.
It's the taste of a hint when it's driven past you in a van.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious. What made Reyna? What made Hattie spark the interest of talking to Ogma? Like, when did it occur to her that she could possibly do it?
Cat.
The cat did it.
It was the cat. I don't remember precisely. I think there was like. I think it was kind of around like Lonely Tower time.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was when we were. Because around that time, like, there were a few battles that didn't go very well for her. And like, people almost died. And then she was like, I don't know who I am either. So she had like a minor breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Time to turn to God.
Time to turn to a god. So she was kind of like thinking back to like, the whole identity thing, like who am I? And she looked around at like the group, and it was like, well, your identity is like strongly tied to a god, and so's yours, Seymour. And now it's like, oh, and there's Helra too. Okay, cool, dope. I can find an identity in religion. So she's, and also I won't, because she's seen how powerful the three of you are, so she's like, well, maybe at the same time I won't be, as vulnerable, or I'll be able to help people more. So she was kind of, like, what god do I?
Yeah.
God do I know? And it was like Orgma.
Going god shopping.
God shopping.
You just picked up a pamphlet of every church you pass.
She's like, yeah, this is interesting. This is also interesting. Nah, this is not mine.
Yeah.
I should have done that every time I was like, can you sell me on your god, please? Give me a quick elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Just invites the Jehovah's Witnesses in.
Yeah. That's what that was about. It was about her lacking an identity, feeling powerless, and wanting to help people. That's what that was all about, essentially. But I didn't expect to get an answer.
Yeah, no, wonderful first impression for Hattie is that the first action she got from a god is just like mystic bookworms. It's just like, okay, am I doing it right?
Is this something that occurred to my mind, or is this something that the god made me think about? I don't know.
Was it just my character ADHD kicking in, or what?
Yeah.
What is this creature a metaphor?
Yeah. The thing is, like, as a player, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like, there are officials in Elturel who are messing with something that they shouldn't be, and it's destroying
It from the inside.
it from the inside out.
Yeah.
Hattie has an inkling, but like she doesn't really know what's going on.
Yeah. I really interpret it as like Elturel being the shiny, pretty city with like where your dreams can come true, basically.
Yeah.
And then if
Do
you
mean Disney.
yeah, but like this, he just.
And it is like Disney. You go in there and it's shit.
Yeah.
It's just the
Disney
same old
does too,
bloody
I-
attraction.
For legal
This is
reasons,
not
that's a
clean.
joke.
Everything's greasy. Like
Yeah.
the litter is all over the floor.
And everything is plastic.
It's hot
for
and
some
tired.
reason.
I want to
Yeah.
go home.
But yeah,
Food's too
Jenks-
expensive, no chewing gum, alcohol's pricey as hell.
Yeah.
but yeah, Jenks described it as this pretty nice, gorgeous book, basically.
Yeah.
This shining object that people admire, and then once you open it up and get seeing the insides, it's basically like this book is gone to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Hattie's kind of like, her first like thought was like, I don't want to tell anyone in the group, but I need to tell someone, so I'll tell
The NPC.
I'll tell my therapy NPC.
Not therapy
you're getting
sword,
a lot,
therapy
man, aren't you?
NPC.
or the self-inserted character.
Janks's
object.
last resort and trying to help us
Put
directly.
himself in the world and be like, okay, Hattie, you're fucking shit up right now. Because that's what Jank said. He said it was it was a self-insertion, right?
I think it was a
Yeah.
character that he had played in a previous campaign.
Yeah.
Like one of his favourite characters that he just thought, what's he doing? Like during all this
During
time, I
all
may
that.
as well
What he's
just
up
add
to.
him in. These people have not talked to each other for 50 sessions, so I think I might do something.
Yeah, but she was like, yeah, she's planning on telling you guys now, but like she's like waiting for the right time, and that might be as we arrive in Elturel, but she'll tell you eventually.
Yeah, if we arrive in Elturel.
If we arrive in Elturel.
You still have a
that won't
murder
matter.
to solve. Remember that? I feel like everybody
Yeah.
forgot about that.
What?
You guys still have a series of murders to solve.
Oh yeah, that. Tempting just to leave town and just be like, okay,
Item out.
you got us here and we had a look at it. I guess we tried to help. Turns out we're really bad investigators.
We're not the right ones for this case.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's like how everyone's like, I've watched Sherlock, I've read the books, like I've seen some murder mysteries. I could be a detective, and if it actually came down to it, would just be like, I don't. What? What am I doing?
Just walking into the room, immediately disturbing the evidence.
Oh,
Yeah.
like Pink Panther style.
It's like a fucking Phoenix Wright like game. It's just like, oh, there's no evidence because we walked all over it.
Brilliant.
Where's the body? You're standing.
It's all underneath our feet.
Yeah. That is exactly what would happen. We're just experiencing. We need to go back and just be like, sorry guys, we tried. Anyway, we got a thing.
Yeah.
I'm curious about Kaya though, because Kaya talked to City about family.
Yeah, that's interesting. Kaya really doesn't want Snipe to die. And they were trying in that moment she knew about the whole setup of the Harpel family because she's a part of it. And even though she doesn't believe in it. She thought that if she invoked her Harpel name, it could help Snipe, and that's the reason she did it. She didn't actually really believe most of the things she was saying. She was just trying to figure out a way to get City more on board with what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Probably didn't work, but just wanted to try something.
Yeah.
No, but she thinks, honestly, like personally, she thinks it's kind of all bullshit. She doesn't think that family ties or blood matter at all in any way. And she thinks it's stupid and elitist to think that just because someone is of the same name as you, that should have any influence on how you view them. But she knew that it probably mattered to City, so.
Yeah. So to her, it doesn't matter, but she knows that it would matter to someone else.
Yeah. He went about it in most like subtle, sneaky, kind of underhand way. I was watching like, I don't know, in this conversation I'd have to stop and go, I'm sorry, you're being really vague. But the way that RP moment was incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Everybody did fantastic RP that session, actually.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed everybody's interactions.
Yeah.
Seymour and fucking what's his name?
I was gonna say Seymour and Bill.
Learned that he lost a toe, and obviously he's the most important NPC.
Yeah.
So
Fucking
that's very
Bill.
important for us to know.
If we do fuck up and like we unleash the abyss onto the world, spare Bill. He'll be the only survivor.
Bill is the
Nobody wants to tell the
BBG.
tales.
He's also an abyssal like lordling. He's here for Snipe's soul.
Yes, please. That's what I want. I want every kind of stupid character that we've met just to turn out to be like
A part of the BBAG
Yeah.
organization.
Well, that might be possible because alongside our Texas, we also found Monkshood, who was from the
Yeah.
Mystic
Oh,
Forest.
we didn't even
Yeah,
talk
she is
about
there.
Monkshood.
Yeah.
But like at the same time,
It took
What
me
a
a hot
plot
second
twist.
to remember who she was. I was like, oh wait, and then I remembered. I was like, oh fuck, I've done it. I've done it again.
The thing
Yeah.
is, I hadn't even considered what she would do. Like, I feel like we asked her, like, yo, what are you doing now? Like, I feel like we asked that, or like, what will you go and do? But like, it never occurred to me that we'd like meet her again, and it would be like,
We
No,
offered for
especially-
her to join us.
Yeah,
of
especially
us
with
off-
like
yeah.
the Texas.
maybe we should like,
Because the first time we saw our Texas was also in the Misty Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what the fuck was he doing there? And then
We
we
just
looked-
never asked.
Oh wait a minute. We looked back at the Misty Forest and the Lonely Tower, and we saw like
Yeah,
the
the
head of the
captain.
Misty
had
Forest. She
fallen
was,
ill.
Yeah.
yeah, she'd fallen ill.
Captain Talise.
Yeah,
We need to
With like
remember
the
that
spider
that might be
marks, or
helpful.
well,
yeah,
Yeah, which makes
Like-
sense because she had betrayed Lolth, right?
yeah.
yeah.
And so
And
I
I-
think whatever Reyna did to prove her loyalty to Lolth probably caused her to fall ill.
Yeah, because it was like this dark spider web thing that was crawling over her skin, basically.
Yeah.
If I remember rightly.
Yeah. And Reyna saw something crawling out of the Misty Forest
Yeah, which
that
was the
Jenks
spider.
confirmed was the talisman. Yeah.
Yeah.
we need to remember this. I say we, I mean you guys need to
We really
remember
should have been
this,
treating this
'cause
campaign
after-
as a Telltale Games, just like we will remember this.
Yeah. The Grove Ambassador is a drow elf, Talise Esperix, and
Yeah.
underneath it I wrote Lord of Texas.
Yeah.
Hey, now we know that he really is a rich asshole and his name, Our Taxes, is well deserved.
Brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. I also love the change of like clothes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's gone from like I'm in my elven finery to just like what I can only tell.
He's a casino owner.
He looks like a medieval fuckboy.
Yeah.
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 That's
Yeah.
the only thing I can liken it to.
Yeah.
His middle name is Chad.
Our taxes, Chad.
Chad.
And I imagine him, because like Jax went out the way to say, like, he even said, like, I don't know if he said on camera or off camera, but he said like he practiced Artaxis's accent and revealed it to be Scottish. And so the reason he just like made me imagine every villain that David Tennant had played. I just
Yeah.
imagine he dresses like Crowley, just like button open,
Yeah.
leather t-shirt, red glasses on,
Yeah.
extremely skinny jeans that don't exist.
like a
Favorite.
punk classical fuckboy.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Someone draw that, please.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That's what we need in our life now. Not actual like art from the campaign of like serious moments. We just need.
We need the meme version
Yeah.
of everything.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, whenever I feel like just drawing something quickly, I like to pick scenes from our campaigns and just try to convert them into scenes.
Yeah.
Like,
I did little
yeah.
post-it note doodles every time, like
You
mid-session.
need to like post them up like I have. You should have your own posted wall of post-it notes.
Yeah,
doodles.
the
Like,
thing
take a
is,
picture of it.
I don't know where they've gone. I think they may have gone in the trash.
No.
Oh wait, I think some of them were
Stick.
saved. Some of them were saved in the book, I think, but there's multiple books I have.
None of my post-it notes end up in the trash. They all get converted into paper cranes.
Nice.
Okay, I have a
Some-
weird question.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah.
looking back at my notes from the Misty Forest.
Mhm.
We have Ambassador Talise.
Yeah.
We have Monk's Hood. That's a ranger.
Yeah.
Then we were
Most
talking about the
confusing name
cult.
ever. Ranger
Yeah.
Monk Suit. Are you a
We also-
ranger? Are you a monk?
That's what Harry
Yeah.
asked.
We
Yeah.
also have Captain Rowan Arrowwood. That's
Yeah.
also someone, but he isn't involved right now. But I
Mhm.
basically wrote down cousin of the ambassador is the leader of the cult.
Yeah.
But was it the cousin of Talise who was the ambassador of the leader of the cult?
I was
I don't
not
know.
at all
There was
paying
a
attention
third-
in the Misty Forest.
there
I'm
was
not
a
even
third
one of
person-
them.
Nope.
There was a third person who ran the bar who turned out to be a bard herself, because I think she used vicious
Yeah.
mockery to take down the
Um,
ghost dragon.
Yeah.
Not
thing is-
Sambar,
Let's
I
get
but
have
Yandala.
never taken notes for this campaign a day in my life.
Yandala
about.
owned the tiki bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
We have tiki
and-
bar music. This is the first time this has ever been relevant.
But yeah, she owned the tiki bar and she was the old ambassador of the Grove.
Yeah.
And now Talise is the ambassador. Yeah. But the Cult of the Dragon.
Yeah.
I love how y'all are looking at notes and I'm just vibing. That's brilliant.
So the cousin of Talise was it Talise? I feel like there's another person involved. But the cousin of the ambassador was the leader of the Cult of Dragons, where we basically needed to we chopped off the head of the dragon, but we needed to get the soul of the dragon to stop the cult from happening, basically.
Yes.
And I'm trying to see if there's a connection here. Sorry, I'm just rambling.
No,
but-
it's fine. It's fine.
There was something she said to Kaya.
Yeah.
And I tell you where this can be written down because this was
Wait, what
the
did who
lost
say to Kaya?
Yeah, because that
The
session got
ranger
lost.
lost
Episode.
That session
Yes.
got lost.
Yeah, it's the lost episode. So maybe it's in there.
Wait, the things that the ranger said to Kaya, they had one conversation while they were on watch where she just kind of like vented all her frustrations at everything in general.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything important was mentioned there.
Mm. Asks how taking revenge feels. Kaya says it's not very rewarding. Ranger admits her enclave was destroyed by her cult. She killed the dragon ghosts
yeah.
and cut the skull's head off.
Because her enclave got destroyed by the cult, so she wanted revenge by chopping off the head of the dragon.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But
and
she
said
knew
she felt
about
nothing.
the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah. So she kind of knew.
Yeah,
but
which is why
there's-
she was banished for
Yeah.
a while. Not for long.
But she was banished because she didn't do it properly and kind of knew that
Yeah.
she didn't do it properly.
Yeah, and then she was
It just
exiled.
one season anyway. It's not like it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she got off easy.
In fact, I think the reason was that like Snipe also thought, oh, I'd saved her because I took the exile as well, but it turns out they
Yeah.
didn't care. So that might also have a part to play on like her views on like loyalty within like wood elves and high elves.
Yeah.
But
I think wasn't it the fact that Snipe took some of the responsibility that stopped Ranger Monkstood from being exiled forever?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just curious if there's a connection between Artaxis, the Cult of the Dragon, and Ranger Monkshood.
Good question.
Well, he was there is the thing. The
Yeah,
question
he
is
was in the
why,
enclave.
why was he there?
Yeah.
I think the question that could answer that question would be what part of the abyss is he a lordling over?
Yeah.
I guess
Is
we're gonna have to
he-
ask him that.
In the part where Lulth is ruling? Is he in a part where there's like the cult of the dragon has like a footing in it or something? I mean, the abyss is so big, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I have a theory,
Mm.
but it's a very broad one.
Go.
because like, okay, Snipe sneaking the cloak pin amulet onto him and him giving it back was the initiation of him recognizing Snipe.
Yeah.
Like even leaving the note to Reyna saying like, oh, you know, it's been a while since meet, blah blah blah, and that kind of
Oh
stuff.
my god, you snuck an abyssal cloak pin onto a Lord of the Abyss.
Well, I didn't know at the time. I didn't know at the
That's
time, and the thing is, he
incredible.
gave it back, which was
I
interesting.
thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
Or maybe he thought that you knew about him.
Yeah,
And that was
well,
like a signal.
The fact that Janks now previously confirmed that that cloak pin had been the first thing that was on Snipe when they arrived in that world, and Snipe's story of arriving in that world is that they had a fight with another demonic force who, as punishment for losing a battle, threw them into Faerun to get lost for 10 years. Maybe Artaxis is either that person who threw Snipe into this world or is related to that.
Know something about it.
Yeah.
I bet
Because the only put I put in my backstory in terms of like aim is that someone was following Snipe.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
bet
really?
James was laughing so hard when you slipped him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he had all of this planned back then?
No,
Or
I
do you
don't
think
so.
he used that opportunity to create Artaxis or to introduce Artaxis?
I bet Artaxis would have just
No,
kind
sure.
of come and gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
curious
thing is,
because
that elf didn't have a name until now.
yeah, but
So I
you
think
did
maybe he
see
planned it.
Snipe did see when they snuck into the bush. They looked out over a platform where someone got dragged away,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure who it was again because
Yeah.
only Snipe saw it, and they looked like. From what I remember, is that Snipe was in the bush.
Snipe was in the
Laying
bush,
down?
and he was and Snipe saw him through the bush, and then as he was looking around the enclave, when his eyes passed over Snipe felt it, like felt
Yeah.
the eyes just like burn as they glazed over.
So there
There is something.
is something, and
So
now I'm
That's gonna
curious why
explain
Ranger
it all,
Monksuit is
hopefully next
involved.
session.
Was there a swap out between the actual elf and?
Maybe. Because if it's a cursed item, then yeah, maybe.
Ooh.
'Cause
Yeah,
it
that's
says-
my original thought was that the amulet
Lolth
had done
told
something
Reyna, as a lordling of the abyss is after the other half of Snipe, he goes by the form of Artaxis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
Artaxis.
my original theory when that first happened was that Snipe's amulet had done something to the elf.
Maybe.
Yeah. It makes sense that it could have been like they were expecting you to maybe drop the brooch somewhere and someone pick it up, and whoever that is have kind of it be like a marker or something, or
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. That could.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the whole reason that like Snipe does that with amulets is because Snipe's interested in cursed items and just how far they can take a hold of someone. Or like as a form of like greed or something, how often
you like set the entire campaign up to be about
I
like
didn't-
possession and like being
Well,
like
that's the whole point of why, like, Sniper's like, oh, I've done many things and, like, gone through different areas and worlds and just barely survived them as almost a mark of saying, hey, congrats, you survived this area. They just found an amulet and
It's
just, like,
like-
thought, oh, that's a good reward, pocketed it. There's only 3 amulets they have in which they actively took away from someone who was seeking it.
Yeah.
It's like creating a character who's like, I'm like really hot for being murdered, and then like not expect to be murdered. Like
'Cause-
That's what Snipe lives like. They've
Yeah.
been eternal for the majority of their life. This is the first time they've been kicked in the arse saying, hey, motherfucker, how does it feel to be mortal?
Meanwhile,
As-
Hattie's,
okay.
Hattie's just like, hey, pretty butterfly, let's go follow that, and you're like, I like cursed objects.
I think now I'm on par to Seymour in terms of my arseholery of fucking with the world around me. Just on a
Oh.
different plane.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're all
man.
just a bunch of arseholes in the end, except for Hattie, but Hattie finds their own way.
Yeah, we're
Hattie's
all
got the more innocent way
She's
of being
she's
an
a special
arsehole.
genre of arsehole.
We are
Yeah.
all assholes. We're just different types of
Yeah.
assholes.
Yeah.
We're also a party of almost only neutral characters.
Yeah.
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 Almost. There's Kaya's chaotic good, and then I'm guessing Helra's probably lawful or neutral good.
Yeah,
She's not lawful.
Neutral good.
Yeah, I think neutral
Yeah.
good.
good lord.
Also, like, okay, talking about the amulet Snipe,
Yeah.
like, actively pursued.
Yeah.
The earring of worked bone belongs to Orcus.
Yeah.
So that was pursued by a necromancer who was just interested in the undead. The
Mhm.
fragment of the mask, I just believe that's just mask. That's
Hang on.
just the god mask.
That might be mask, yeah.
Yeah, with the Outbreaker Paladin. Who...
Yeah, sought by Paladin. And then a linen bracelet. Who I think he said like there's not a specific one, but the only connection I had is that it was a group of people who were dangerous and burnt down a village.
Yeah, and were
That could be
five people
anyone.
wearing veils.
Could be fucking anyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have no clue what, like as a player, what to connect that one to.
Yeah.
To which
Or I
god.
don't have enough information.
Yeah, I
to
think
connect
it's
it.
like
Yeah.
Snipe's traveled around a bit, so there isn't technically a leading connection to the majority of them. It's literally just Snipe being in the certain place at a certain time and thinking, I'm gonna fucks with some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep
Yeah.
forgetting that Snipe's been in Faerun for a good 10 years. Like, that's a
Yeah.
long time to be in Faerun for.
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
if you're not from. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been winging it this whole time, and only now has the consequences caught up with him.
I'm just like astounded as to, for lack of a better way of putting it, how much of a spider web Snipe has spun.
Yeah.
With the different gods, cursed items.
They're a Nancy. They're just a fucking
Yeah.
spider at this point, connecting everyone together.
And by Snipe, we mean Jenks.
Yes.
You're the reason.
I had the boldest decision to make of saying, Janks, I don't know where to take this, so you go nuts. And this is the result.
Yeah, no, you will be the reason for the awkward family dinner or family barbecue where all of the gods roll up. And
God.
things get set on fire.
Raina thought they'd be the one. Nah. Turns out
I
it
guess
was
Snipe.
Love
the
has
whole
taken
time.
sole custody. Now Snipe is the
Yeah.
new Reyna.
Yeah. I'm the bastard royal of the company. It's like, I will send the invitation, but just like, don't give them any eye contact. Don't recognize them.
Got to see them at different tables.
At the far end of the table.
Okay, well, that's been roughly an hour, so I vote we take a break here.
And then talk about Crimson Petal, because there's
Yeah.
another thing we did.
Yeah.
We might not even get around to questions. There's a lot to talk about these past.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will have to get to my mouse.
Taking the effort to
Fall off the
move.
chair.
So we will see you in 5 to 10 minutes.
Yes.
Bye. Hello, welcome back. Soph is consuming an apple.
BRB.
We were just, Ed, we were literally just talking about like a campfire because that's what's on the D&D Beyond short resting. So, yeah, we'll work on emotes. There's a plan. There's a plan in place. It's fine. It's fine.
That's our excuse.
So Crimson Petal.
Yes.
Who wants to go first? So if you did a lot of building.
Yes, because the
Or
gate
mending
was
rather.
ablaze. Yeah.
Was Boy happy to kind of get back into kind of a fixing-y, mending-y environment rather than a stabby one?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's just like how Boy was raised, really. It was just like, if there's something broken, fix it. Or like, if someone has something that can be built, build it. So he just saw the opportunity of like, the gate's been burnt down. So yeah, like, here's something I can fix.
This is my expertise. This is what I'm born for, basically.
Yeah.
Finally, something I can do.
It was an interesting choice. What was going on in Boy's head when he decided to take the blame for the fireball, even after the party had figured out a way to completely absolve themselves of blame?
He planned to, from the actual fight session, Boy did tell Neela, don't worry, I'll sort it. So that's what he meant, is that he'd take the blame. I mean, because, like, partly because he knew that if the townspeople blamed him fully, that it was just him, they're more likely to put all responsibilities of him building the bridge on him. So that means he can work alone, and that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want people interfering too much with his work, because he's like, I know what I'm doing, so don't you get in the way, even though this is your gate in your town. I will fix this to my means.
How did Neela feel about that?
They felt really guilty. They did not feel good about that. But yeah, they respect Boy and they trust them. And they're definitely not gonna take the blame for it if they don't have to.
Yeah.
But they did feel bad about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was enough for Boy, really, whereas, like, he knew that Neela would feel upset about it and just, like, probably bear it in mind of, like, not to do it again. They said, well, that's probably a punishment enough for, like, Neela to feel that way. You don't have to say, well, you did this, you build this entire gate back up again. They said, well, Boy's is a combination of, she's just a kid, like, don't force that upon her. And then it's also the case where it's like, she's just a kid, she might not know how to actually properly build a gate, and I know, so I'll take that responsibility.
Yeah. Small child does not know how to build gate. Small child must be protected.
Yeah.
Can destroy gate, cannot build gate.
Can break down, but cannot build up.
Yeah.
Like all children.
Yeah.
We'll knock it down, but cannot go up. Whatever you've made up, I will break down.
What about Rascal? Rascal was just like throwing blame everywhere. He seems to have gotten a lot more relaxed with his kind of facade of being good. That was two very different questions.
Yeah, I need to process that one. Just like, okay, hold up now. It's mainly because whenever he gets into trouble, he likes to avert it to something else. So he likes to tell half-truths, like, yeah, we blew up the gates, but we're not the one who actually, like, initiated to blow up the gates.
We did it, but it's not our fault.
Yeah. Because we did it, Neela blew up the gate, but their intention was to kill the creatures, basically. It's just interesting that the powder keg thing came up and that there is someone who works with that substance and with that thing
Let's hope
town.
they don't get blamed too harshly.
I think
They do. Yeah, sorry. I don't know. I just brought it up. I didn't know they had someone in town working with that.
I think they know it's like a half-truth or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, because we kept contradicting our stories.
Yeah. Yeah, we went from, yeah, we did it, to no, we did not, to
we kind of did it.
kind of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they can make up the story on their own with the information they have.
Yeah. I feel like it was enough for them to just be like, I don't care, just fix it. I
Yeah.
don't care.
No.
So it's like, it doesn't matter if like the intent was not to blow out the gate. The intent originally was to stop the bad guys. All you've done is made a larger entry for the bad guys to get in.
Yeah. Does Rascal feel kind of guilt towards what Neela's going through right now? Because she was obviously really affected when you were taking the fingers off the statues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now she's kind of done something which Rascal will know, will have an effect on her.
Mm-hmm.
Is he kind of planning on fixing the relationship, or just let anxious dogs lie?
No, I think I was thinking about this lately because I was like, okay, mainly the breaking fingers part and getting noticed and the group talking to him being like, okay, this is not okay, is a way for him to find out the limits, like what the group are like, okay, what the group will accept and what they want.
Yeah, I like the idea that Rascal's been with the group for so long at this point, but we've never seen Rascal in action on a mission or anything. But I think Rascal at this point is comfortable enough with the group to try to push his limits a little bit, kind of test the boundaries. Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, that was basically what happened with breaking, snapping off the fingers, to see okay, this is how the group reacts to me doing something like this. Okay, I need to make sure if I do it, I don't do it in front of them, or they will just never know about it. And so he's like, okay, I broke the relationship with Neela a little bit because of that. What happened? I know kind of why they reacted the way they reacted, because they're just scared. If someone does that, it can mean that they will do it to them in the future. So he's like, he really wants to talk to Neela and just express this is something I did. Yes, I did it, but I will never do it to the group. This is always something I will do to other people I don't know, or just I will never ever do something to the group.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Neela is confrontational and would never call Rascal out or not follow Rascal's orders because of that, but they are actively trying to stay away from him, keep a healthy distance away, because they just don't want to be confronted with that right now.
No. That's also that's really the mood that I got from Neela in that session, that she kept her distance, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna approach it right now because it's a fresh wound and you don't want to poke in a fresh wound.
I love the juxtaposition of the way that's figured out, of Rascal being like, oh, now this character development because the group's getting comfortable with me, I'm gonna commit crime. I am now so confident and happy with these people, I'm going to do lascivious things with Rascal.
Get friends, do crime.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's mainly because he always was surrounded by people who, when they would notice, they would not say anything about it, they would not confront him about it. So it's also very new for him to just have people that would not call him on his shit, but when they saw him snapping off fingers, they reacted to it.
Yeah.
And the group of people he was with before never really reacted to it or said anything about it.
No.
So he always got away with it without feeling guilty about anything.
Yeah. I must admit, I kind of on this note, although Kia has kind of done the you're just a bit of a bastard, aren't you, and kind of gone in a little bit on Rascal, she has changed her alignment from neutral good to neutral, because of her past. I feel like I've talked about it before, because she did the right thing, the morally right thing, and it bit her in the ass. She lost everything because of it. And there's still the danger of the fact that she might go out somewhere, or she might go to a specific village and they might recognise her or know her name, and she might get chased out of the village because of that. So she's, especially with what Rascal has done, and the fact that she's in a position now where she's got this sword that's talking to her and is forcing her to stay with people who, because if Rascal was like this, there's nothing to say that the rest of you aren't the same. So she's avoiding kind of moral stuff and doing good things. She's just
how
doing
how did
her.
yeah
did Kia? So you're saying that because Rascal's this way, Kia isn't sure about the morality of the rest of the party. But how did Kia feel when Rascal did break those fingers? It looked like the party was on Kia's side. It's probably for the first time.
Yeah,
That's true.
How did you feel about that? Because Oakley went in like, this is not okay. I'm rushing towards you and I'm stopping you, and all the others were just like, what the fuck are you doing, basically?
Yeah, but there's an element of this could just be, what are you doing in front of these people? You know, you're being like this in front of these people when we normally keep it a secret. There could, as far as Kia's aware, that could be the thing. You know, that could be how this group works. But her general kind of thought process is, like, at the time, I think she thought that it was like everyone against Rascal and what Rascal was doing, but over, like, on the walk to the village, she's kind of been doing wait a second, if they've known Rascal for this many years, this can't be the first time this has happened. Even though it is the first time, as far as Key is concerned, there's like more going on beneath the surface, so she's kind of hands up like, I'm not getting involved in anything, I'm just gonna do as what this sword is forcing me to do and what I need to do to get this money, and that's it. I'm not gonna kind of do we shouldn't be shooting at each other, you know, let's save people. Like, she's not gonna do that, she's just here for the
She's
point.
there.
Yeah.
Our group is like the terrible headmaster of a school, of like having that one kid who's the constant bully and constantly being mischief, just says, oh, we'll put you under detention, and it does fucking nothing. Like, we just say, I'm very mad at you, and that's it. That's as far as we'll go to like serving actual punishment of like bad behavior from Rascal.
Well, we'll see how I'm very, very curious about how the relationship will change over time.
Yeah. I can't think of a reference that's like in game, but like the only reference that I can have on how Boy views Rascal is similar to like the character Six from Little Nightmares 2. Like when you just catch them like with like a prosthetic arm ripping the fingers off and putting them back in, and like kicking the shit out of a corpse. It's just like one of those things where it's like, oh, that's a bit freaky, but carry on as normal. And it's just like, as long as you don't get to a bit where like Rascal's literally got your arm, you're hanging over an edge, and you know that he's gonna let go. Just don't get into that situation and you're fine.
Yeah, but to be honest, like Dave asked me this question on Discord at 3 a.m. Of course. But no, he asked me this. Has Rascal ever killed an innocent person, either out of anger, frustration, enjoyment, or just anything?
Don't tell us what the answer is.
No, I'm not gonna answer it, but I basically, like, I see the party as... Rascal sees the party as a group of friends. He cares about them. And also, like, if I look at the ideals I wrote down for him, he will protect the, like, if something... It's okay. I need to describe this correctly, so give me a moment. But yeah,
That's just reminded me, I might have sent while you think about that, I might have sent a really stupid question to Jenks.
What did you say?
What did you say? What's Hattie's name?
How do you play D&D?
but
What are
yeah,
you thinking about it?
yeah. Okay, I think I know how to answer this. Well, basically, it's like, okay, these are my friends. These are the people I care for. I will do anything to protect them. And if something comes in the way of like if something confronts them and will kill them, I will stand up for them. Like, I will care for them, and the rest of the world can go to shit. Like, it's
Us versus them.
yeah. It's basically the mentality of, okay, these are my people. These are the people I care for. I might not be really good at showing it, but if something comes in their way, I will fight with them. And if something might kill them, I will make sure I get my revenge for them. That's basically how I see his mentality towards the group. So even though
It's really interesting.
he might act like aggressively or evil towards NPCs, he will never ever do something to the group.
Not yet, anyway.
That would probably be
Not
a
yet.
way to very easily, well, not easily, but to fix the relationship. Because the very little tear that Rascal has created with the party would be, if we get into a life-threatening situation, Rascal saves their asses. I'm sure that people would
Yeah.
remember why they're friends with you.
Yeah. it's an interesting thing.
The thing
'Cause I
is,
feel
because Kia is on the outside of all of this, still kind of, she's very much in the position of like, well, that's great that like she wouldn't do that to other people. Maybe she would do it to someone in this group, but I'm like a stranger.
Yeah, which is changing for Rascal, to be honest.
Ooh.
He is very intrigued into Kia right now. Not like relationship material, just because like yeah, the tension is there, but it's right now. It's just like, okay, sure. What else can you do, basically? Like, what? Who is this person? Where did they come from? And just what are they doing?
Looking after someone else's pet, just like, what do you do?
Yeah, how do you function?
Just holding in there. It's like, what do I do with you?
It's like someone being handed a baby. Like, what? Do you want a glass of wine?
Why have you given me this responsibility?
Yeah. It's just he's right now just very intrigued in the personality that is Kia, or the person that is Kia.
Kia is with Rascal. It's an interesting situation because she sees the kind of
ADHD. It's just
Slow head turn.
they're just
Crying.
screaming down at the beach, and I'm not talking like there's a child screaming. I mean like a fully grown man just screamed, like a full, like with their full chest, like. Anyway,
someone's getting murdered, but
Yeah.
meanwhile, let's just have the podcast
moving on.
Just the very slow, almost robotic. She fucking heard the scream. I heard it as well, and I just thought, oh, we'll just forget it. And then you just went, what?
Yeah.
No, let's not ignore that for a second.
Let's talk about 7 minutes past 4. The fact that there's been a murder. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, look, someone else's murder is very distracting. So Kia is also kind of intrigued with Rascal. So she's met people who are like evil. However, she's never met anyone who has
Again, the slow head turn, like what?
who never fuck. She's never met anyone who's kind of yeah, exactly. Again, CarpeDM Live does not condone murder. Please do not murder people IRL. In-game is fine. Yeah, so she's met people who are evil, but she hasn't met anyone who's not just out for themselves, who have like a group of people around them who are people that they look after, you know? Like, I don't really know how to...
It's not really for selfish. It's not.
Yeah.
He is selfish, but still, he will look after the group if it's necessary.
Yeah, but it extends to other people.
Yeah.
And she's really intrigued by that because she has been doing the good thing, doing the right thing. She's been following morals for all of this time, and she's never gotten anything out of it. Like, she's never been rewarded with anything. Nothing good really has ever happened. Like, she's lost her parents, she's lost her village, she's lost her like rank in the military, her money, everything. She just doesn't have anything. So the idea that she could be selfish and disregard people who would disregard her while still having like a community and like a family is something she's like, it's fully made her pause and think, and I think that's one of the reasons why she's no longer a neutral good. She is neutral, on top of the fact that she just doesn't want to get involved in like moral debates and the issue of morality in a group in which she is being forced to be with but doesn't necessarily agree with all the time.
Like a balance of cognitive dissonance that she recognises in Rascal, and that she's done everything like to a good means ends as like almost a heroic gesture of just like I will get reward out of this, and she's got nothing, and then she discovers Rascal, who's just like I will do everything against like the principles of what is good except for one thing. And so Rascal's just like I will be this bad guy except around the party because I respect them, and that's enough for like Rascal to be considered okay. You can continue living and get reward at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like so
I think
Kia's just like maybe I should do something similar.
Kia's discovering the grey area of morality.
yeah, it's
I was
like
gonna say mortality.
No, it's. I
That's
feel like
Snipe's
it's.
story.
Yeah, that's Snipe's story.
I think she nearly discovered the grey area of mortality with how many times Thunder Wave has been cast on it. By
Theo,
mortality is constantly into question
Yeah.
whenever Theo makes direct eye contact through the hair.
Thunderwave.
Theo has never made direct eye contact with anyone a day in his life. He has too much
Exactly.
hair in the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's very interesting because the way the way you described Kia, I'm like, okay, she always played by the rules, but she almost never won the game. And now she's seeing, okay, I can disregard the rules and also win.
Yeah.
It's like the straight A student versus the guy who cheats in school.
Yeah.
Like
We're both going to end up in the same shithole regardless.
Like the reason she was good wasn't because she was inherently good. It was because she was
believed.
told that she would get good things out of being good. So I
Yeah,
guess
she
in a
would
way
win.
she was never good in the first place. Because, like, you know, if you're...
She would,
If you're...
she would win if she were good.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
If you would
It's
follow the
like-
rules, she would win.
Yeah, it's like the thing of if you're good and nice to people to get into heaven, does that negate... It's the whole good place theory or whatever of like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're doing good things for your own personal gain, is it really good things?
It's an emotional quote and just inspirational quote. No one can stop, but if you're good and into the just Becca 2020.
Just record every little that sentence.
I want to print another shirt with like a nice sunset background.
Someone clip that.
I will push it backwards as soon as the
And
podcast
zoom
is
in.
over.
And just like zoom in onto Becca every time she stutters into the corner. Oh god.
Amazing.
It's like that frigging quote of that kid.
Oh yeah, if you could win, do you want to?
If you, what?
That's me. That's me trying to have a conversation.
Amazing.
Why did none of my shirts stay on this shoulder? What is... Anyway.
They want to
I was
escape.
struggling
They
with
want to
this.
live a life.
Saturday, was it? If you go back and watch that stream, I was also struggling with it with like the yellow like sweatshirt that I had on. What? Anyway.
Your house is at an angle. Gravity is just pushed towards that area.
No, I'm at an angle. Have you seen the way I'm...
Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
No quick.
So really, Kia kind of went from lawful neutral to true neutral then, huh?
Becca?
Maybe.
Because if she thought she was like law-abiding will get me good things, or is what I'm supposed to do, if, abide to a certain moral code, then I think that's lawful neutral, right?
We've had this discussion. I don't know if it was on camera.
We've had
but
this
about
discussion a lot.
about alignments and like they should be a lot more flexible than they seem to be in D&D.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's look.
Well,
at
I see lawful as like
lawful
not really
neutral. An individual acts in accordance with law's traditional personal code. Many monks and some wizards are lawful neutral. Thank you, D&D Beyond.
Then there's Hattie.
Yeah, Hattie is lawful neutral.
Oh really? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
By
that's
her
true,
own
yeah.
law is the thing. I think law
Yeah.
No,
indicates that like
we've
it's
her own
decided
law,
and
yeah.
personal.
It's not.
We've decided that
literally-
Hattie is lawful chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Perfect.
the one.
the forbidden alignment. No, that's the question that I
Yeah, that's
posted.
stupid.
I obey
Yeah.
by the rules, and there are no rules. The only rule is to have fun.
That's the... It's the tiki bar music. I thought there was a phone going off. That's the second time I thought there was a phone going off.
Squirrel.
I don't know why my brain is
Ed says
doing
poster check.
Oh no.
this. Fine, I won't sit
Arch.
on my leg. Jeez. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, that's what I messaged to Janks. I was like, hey, I've been trying to work out what Hattie's
Alignment is.
What is Hattie?
personal code is, because she doesn't go by rules. She doesn't
goes
go
by
by
Candlekeep
the law
rules.
or
Yeah.
tradition, but she
Candlekeep
doesn't know.
traditions.
She's broken those rules or thought about like if it wasn't a case of like she would be kicked on her ass, she wouldn't follow them. She's literally just following them for personal gain.
So maybe she's chaotic neutral.
But there's definitely like a
I think it's
No,
Hattie's
like,
got the
rules
same.
that she follows. I just can't work out what they are. I just cannot get my head
The-
around what.
Hattie's
No
got the same
fighting,
mentality.
no stealing, no copying, and no damaging of the work.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
she would very happily copy out the work, but the only reason... Like, she doesn't follow it because she agrees with the rules. She doesn't follow it because of a morality. She doesn't follow it because she thinks it's a good thing to do.
It's because
so,
she has to do it because she's not known of
Yeah.
any other way, really.
Yeah, so I messaged Jank saying, I've been trying to work out what the rules that Hattie follows are to make lawful neutral make sense. And I'm kind of coming up blank. Any ideas? It's got to be something about openness or not holding back. Being maybe not giving it into the social expectations of adulthood. I don't know if there's something there, my brain really can't think about it from the right angle, you know what I mean?
You wrote that?
I wrote that. Those are the
Yeah,
words.
that does sound like a conversation.
Yeah.
I was just rereading
You know
it.
what I
I'm
mean?
like, you know what I mean? I added words into those questions and sentences so it would make sense in English. You know, the language I wrote it in.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening to my brain. Please.
I feel like Hattie would be able to obey Candlekeep laws if I always forget his name. The father figure that Hattie had,
Yeah.
like, explained those rules to Hattie at one point, and basically did it in a roundabout way of saying, you don't have to follow all of them. Like, when they say this, they actually mean this. So you can do this, but at the same time, it's not too bad to like actually go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
I feel like Hattie would have that kind of instinctive, like, remembering, oh, I have to do this. Oh, wait, I don't have to, because, like, this has happened many times before to someone else. Oh, so I'm fine with doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's like maybe like the rule that she follows is I can't make my younger self like they've got to be proud. My younger self has to be proud of me for what I achieve. Like something like that. Because there's logic and consistency to her actions. It's not like she's a like true chaotic character in which she just goes and does anything for any reason. Like there are lines that she doesn't cross.
It's not the case that she's chaotic trying to be lawful. It's a case of like she's lawful to a chaotic level. So like she has aims and a to-do list, and when she finds that thing that like enables to her to do something, she gets so enthusiastic in doing it that she kind of disregards everything else around it just for a second because she thinks I can achieve this if I just keep on the straight and narrow here. So fuck everything else, and she just so happens to knock over all the obstacles that are in the way that causes irreparable damage in the background.
Yeah. I actually have something to comment on that. Ed says, personally, I truly believe I should be able to leave my home and be myself. Angry when something angers me, excited when the mood takes me, to tell me how I should act bothers me. That's a good point. It could just be like openness and truthfulness to herself.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. Like some of these things kind of work, but like there's nothing that
I usually like to create a character and create a moral for them without binding alignment to it, and then when the alignment system comes in and gets like when it comes up and when it gets important, then I usually like to tie alignment to it.
Yeah.
Because creating a character based on an alignment is that's not a good way to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like.
But the thing is, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Hattie follows rules. I don't know what they are, but when I'm playing Hattie, there are things when I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh, we're in this situation, Hattie would definitely not go and do this, or
There's consistency in
having-
her actions.
Yeah.
As mad and like outlandish and loud as they are, like they're consistent. Like
Yeah.
as soon as we enter a conversation and the topic is going, like you can immediately guess, oh, Hattie's going to say 20 things in quick succession,
Yeah.
not allowing any answer, but we can guess that's going to happen
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
like that's a system that she's developed in a conversation. So that is a rule she sticks by.
Yeah. But then
It's just
again,
a very loud one.
when there are serious conversations going on, if it's like serious, she doesn't interrupt. She lets it lets it happen. And
Yeah.
she's like, okay, the adults are talking now. I'll just sit here and twiddle my thumbs, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, Janks, help me. I messaged you and you never replied. What is it with DMs and not talking to me? Is it something about me?
DMs, you know, you can't, a double positive makes a negative. It just doesn't work.
DM and
Because they
DM. Yeah.
respond to you guys. I might have to just unfriend
You're
them
also
on
a
Facebook.
DM.
Yeah, you're also
And
DM.
saying that, Naomi's also a DM. So yeah, I don't know. It's an anomaly.
Yeah.
We ended up talking about Words Elsewhere
Again.
Instead of
It was more about
Crimson Petal.
What else
alignments.
happened in Crimson Battle? Boy
That's a
and
question for you
There
guys.
There was
That's
RP
all.
between other characters who aren't here to talk on their behalf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a quick question. Have you guys, in any of the characters you're playing in these 2 campaigns, have you considered changing alignment? Or do you think they will change alignment in the future, maybe?
Reina changed alignment.
They did, yes.
That's an interesting question. Let's see. Clara Hugh is probably the only one that I struggled with alignment for, because I originally created her to be true neutral, but she ended up being incredibly chaotic neutral, so I changed that. But my other characters, Kaya, I think chaotic good fits Kaya, and I don't think that, like, the only thing I could think her changing that would be to go to chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
But I don't think she would. I think she has, you know, she's not, she plays the role of an asshole, but if someone's in trouble or if she could help someone, even if she doesn't get anything for it, she'll still do it, even if she'll complain about it, you know?
Yeah.
She's not necessarily, well, she is inherently selfish, but she's not inherently selfish to such a degree that it impedes her want to help others.
Yeah.
Which is why I think that chaotic good suits her, and I don't think that'll change unless, like, something seriously awful happens to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Neela, Neela could go anywhere, but for now Neela's neutral good, and I also don't really see that changing right now. I guess they could change to true neutral at some point, but I think for now neutral good is fine.
What about Snipe? I mean, Snipe's going through like a proper...
Snipe doesn't know who they are.
Identity crisis.
Well, to be honest, I don't really care about alignments in terms of changing, and usually with the majority of characters, I would have them just like true neutral, but I lean to like default start them at chaotic neutral because D&D is an opportunity to just like jump in at an opportunity at any random given point, which is very chaotic. But the decision of whether it's a good idea or a bad idea is not decided, so therefore it's a neutral opportunity. So to me, like, chaotic neutral just means like you're not going to stand by and let nothing happen, like just have a baseline of fuck all is going on around you, but like you're able to stand in and just like say, hey, let's try this instead, and it's just in a different form of like Snipe's version of chaotic neutral and Boy's version of chaotic neutral. Basically, I don't think I'd change them because the whole reason I put chaotic neutral is because I don't fancy thinking about it too much. I'm just gonna go in a game and see what the fuck happens.
Yeah, I like that theory. I like that. Yeah.
I also think that chaotic neutral fits them really well.
Yeah.
Both of them.
More specific, I think it more specifically suits Boy because
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially
he jumps
with
at
the
any
sense of
opportunity to
humour.
do.
Yeah. I also see chaotic as like holding your personal freedom above everything else, like holding your own.
Yeah, it has the right to just like when they see some kind of injustice happening, chaotic is to have the right to say, you know what, this is bullshit. I'm stepping in to say no.
Reina changed her alignment from chaotic good to chaotic neutral, mainly because she isn't really on the path right now to do good, because she feels like she isn't doing good by changing gods. and well, Rascal's neutral or evil, it might change to true neutral or chaotic neutral.
Ooh, that's interesting.
But that's with very many ifs.
Yeah. There was a question of whether you were going to go chaotic evil with the whole werewolf situation as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Do you think that's something that could not still happen, but do you see it as something that...
It was something that you slightly pursued.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were to go chaotic evil, it would not be going all murder hobo, basically. It would be that he would... Right now, he cares about what the group thinks of what he does. Right now, he has the feeling that, okay, I need to make sure the group likes me and I am still with the group. But if he were to go chaotic neutral, I feel like that would completely go away. His facade and his attitude towards everything will change. But I don't think that will happen.
An interesting swap as well, because to everyone else it's the case of like, oh, you've become more of an arsehole, and really it's like, no. I've improved myself. You just don't know what I was hiding.
Yeah, I think it's also because like most people see evil as like someone who will be evil at every turn, and I don't see Rascal as being evil at every turn. In the beginning, it was like trying out doing something evil every like session, because trying to see where I could, like, how far I could push the limits with the group.
Yeah.
But now it's something that came up with the group, and we had a discussion about it, a fight about it. So now he'll stop doing evil stuff for a little bit, because he's like, okay, I got discovered, something happened, the group is not okay with it, but I'm still evil. So if I this is something I will say from the question Dave asked me. Did he kill someone out of pleasure? I say no, he will never kill someone just for enjoyment, basically. But if he kills someone, he will enjoy it. So he will never randomly pick someone and kill them, but if he kills someone, it's...
Yeah, the pleasure is a side effect, it's not a cause.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, okay.
Questions?
Yeah.
God.
We have,
I mean, if we have the time.
It feels very morally awful to talk about it, because I'm like, I created this character, I like playing him, but also I need to do fucking awful shit to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
I love where both of these campaigns are heading, and I'm very excited to see how they continue.
Yeah. We've kind
My
of
aim is to make Rototo the most convoluted game Janks has ever had to play.
yeah.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get to the point where we swap universes and do a time travel plotline. And...
What happened in Crimson Petal?
Multiverse.
Yeah, what happened in Crimson Petal is they've set up the things to give us the possibility to explore other worlds.
Yeah.
Because he said, like, they are connected to this world. So they're, like, oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
We are pushing them.
Yeah.
Pushing the limits.
We will now be talking about
it's the equivalent of like
it's
like Dave is new to DnD
in every campaign that we do.
Here's how the collab between campaigns can still win.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We can do a one shot of just all of the characters, and we get to play two characters.
All of them.
Can
We
you
have to pull a
imagine
Janks.
Dave and Janks co-DM?
Oh my.
Oh my god.
It would be a chaotic mess, but I would love it.
It would be the most chaotic shit we will
Goddamn.
probably ever do.
have to
That's
force it.
ridiculous.
We're gonna force
Hattie
it.
meeting fucking the Crimson Petal folk.
Also, I
Let me
just
show
want to
you this
say,
item called a stick.
I just want to say, I did absolutely adore Oakley's and Annie's moments.
Yes, it was
that was
fantastic
so cute.
roleplay. That was really great. I
Yeah.
can't wait for more roleplays between other members who are not here today to speak on it.
Yeah.
We are potentially setting something up so that people who don't come onto the podcast get the
Can
questions,
still answer the questions.
and they will answer them kind of behind the scenes, as it were. So we'll have a more varied podcast. I'm not sure how we will do it. I might put on some creepy background music and read it out like a horror story or something.
Oakley says.
Oakley has messaged in.
Speaking of questions.
Yeah.
Should we roll something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled 20
This is the
I
bit where I turn my
rolled-
brain off because I don't know what the maths is involved in this bit.
I rolled 84.
84?
I rolled a 90 again.
90. Okay.
Oh.
Did I switch out the questions on this list? I can't remember. What were the last questions we did? What were the questions we did last time?
84, 52, 70, 47, and 72.
Oh, I haven't switched them out yet. Rip.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
you might
you
want
say-
to, yeah, you might want to copy and paste them down so that we can post them into the main chat for the others to answer instead of just like straight up deleting them.
Okay, wait.
This is gonna get so
okay,
complicated.
Give me a
I know
hot-
it's gonna be complicated.
Give me a hot second. Okay, what were the ones we answered last time? Can you repeat the numbers?
I will make a photo and send it in to your DMs.
Oh, you, Becca.
I don't know what's
Yeah,
happening.
y'all talk amongst
Um,
yourselves while we
yeah.
do this shit.
I hope someone didn't actually get murdered.
Is that the one thing that's been on your mind this whole time?
Yeah, it kind of has.
Just
Why
like
did-
one
God.
scream.
It's turned. That's awful.
84, 52, 47, 72? Okay.
Mm,
So the weather.
Okay.
It's
yes.
been war.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
It's 19
It's been-
degrees.
I don't like it.
What
No.
was this? This. How
Sorry?
does tenses work?
Tenses, pre.
English language.
It's
No,
not
no.
just me, it's you as well. Sorry.
We are English speakers and we cannot speak English.
Oh god. That hit too close to home.
Carmen, why don't you already ask one of the questions that we haven't answered
Yes,
last
so
time
we
while I
can-
work on this list?
we didn't
Our
answer 20.
conversation
20.
topic's not good.
20.
What's this? We have like.
Oh, what's the last medical problem your character had?
Oh.
My character is missing half of their soul.
Don't worry, it's probably fine.
We have the medical records. from-
Yeah, we do. Yeah. We have medical records right now for
Yeah.
characters. Oh my, that's
Not
just
on our
hilarious that I rolled that up.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do these quick pace, so if there's any long ones, you might want to leave them for next week.
Yeah.
So, medical records. Why don't you start us off, so?
God damn. Well, currently battling as to whether to become a whole person or make a new whole person with the second half of them being loose. I don't know how to make that. I don't know how you could put that on a criminal.
A criminal?
Like- Criminal
Medical.
standards. Yeah, medical records and criminal records. It's all the same.
Well, criminal record, I'm half a demon, but I've also lost half a demon. There you
Yeah.
go. Medical, it's not really medical. It's more like
Yeah.
divine.
It's not physical. I mean, they are
spiritual?
slowly
Spiritual,
dying. They
yeah.
are quickly aging.
Yeah.
Did
That's-
Snipe Did Snipe as a demon ever get sick? Can demons get sick?
Yeah, they can get cursed, which is the equivalent of catching a disease.
Catching a disease.
Yeah, in terms of like average, like everyday diseases that like averagely get, like Snipe wouldn't get them. If anything, they would go out of the way to catch certain things to get rid of stuff. So one of their favorite things to their friends is that they would eat any food that was just left behind because they had no sense of taste and had no. Well, then technically their digestive system was dead, so they could just eat all leftover foods and rotten foods that no one wanted. They were just a walking human garbage disposer.
Would it just like stay there then if like nothing was like.
Yeah, technically. They just, as long as like they could pick that stuff up and vacate the premises with the stuff, everything was fine.
Okay.
Literally a walking garbage compactor.
Okay, Naomi?
Yep. Oh, my characters. Let's see. Kaya. I guess they lost an eye. That was pretty
Oh.
rough on her.
They also died, I think, as the other half of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
True. I guess
And they were
that would be
also
her last.
petrified once.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's okay.
Petrifying.
Yeah, she gets into a lot of things. She doesn't get sick easily, but she does. She is a reckless person, so she does get into her fair share of scrapes and shit. So yeah, I guess maybe petrification was the last time she had a medical problem. Neela gets sick all the fucking time. Neela is probably has a cold right now.
Oh, no.
Neela also biggest medical struggle was they almost died of pneumonia once.
Ooh.
Yikes.
That was pretty rough.
Oof.
Pretty rough.
That's rough, buddy. Yeah, Reina has also the petrification scar she has.
Yeah.
And maybe she got really unwell when she did the thing at the temple at Borskir Bridge. Because she got brought into the medical area.
Hmm.
I think those are the last medical issues.
But it wasn't. I don't think
Seymour has medical issues all the time.
He does, yeah. Yeah, because I think Raina, the reason you had to go into medical is because there was a nightmare thing that nearly consumed your entire life.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Well, it was mainly. Yeah. Why did she go to the medical area? But was it because she?
You were just really drained, right?
Yeah, you were drained of energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you spent all your energy literally stopping a war.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
Oh, the rest of us are fine now.
Hattie was.
Hattie.
Yeah.
Well, what medicals does Hattie have?
Hattie has had like a few bumps and bruises at the orphanage. She caught every disease that a child catches at that goddamn orphanage. She got ear infections and eye infections and stomach bugs. She probably had pneumonia at one point. She probably had chickenpox.
Everything you can.
Just
everything you can
think
catch.
of like something that a child would catch.
Yeah.
She caught
Leave
it.
Hattie in a field of grass. She'll find the one pebble in the grass to dedicate to banging her head off of it as a child.
Yeah. And that kind of all stopped when she got to Candlekeep, and she got like a few scars here and there from like sparring with people or like falling off the floating discs in the library.
Yeah.
But like, well, there probably won't be scars. She probably got like magically healed, and I don't think you get scars from being magically healed.
No, usually not.
Alright, so anything from the orphanage you would have gotten a scar from. But like, there's been nothing. Wait, did she get a little bit petrified? No, she
I think she.
No, she was. Sniper and Hattie, I think, were the only ones who didn't get.
Yeah, because
petrified.
Seymour got hit, Reina got hit, and Kaya completely petrified.
Yeah. So she's had like bumps and bruises from like what we've seen in the campaign, but she's never had.
She's had a huge foot-shaped bruise, which she was football kicked across by a diagram.
Yeah, the piggy in the middle was dangerous. What other characters do I play? Kia. Oh yeah, she has the 2 scars that go round here and down onto her neck. Or the 1 scar rather. I don't know, the scars that go.
2.
The horseshoe.
Yeah. I would maybe see it like as a claw of a creature. I don't know where she got it from, but
Yeah. She got that from when she was in the military. She has quite a few other scars from when she was doing like mercenary work. Mercenary? No. Yes. I was thinking
mercenary.
missionary. She hasn't been doing missionary work. Yeah, from mercenary work. And being kind of at war. She has a few scars from that, but other than that, not much.
Rascal's got a lot of scars.
Yeah, Rascal got a lot of
Rascal, go
scars.
ahead.
He is. His entire upper body and a few of his legs have. His legs are usually pretty clean of scars, but his entire upper body is pretty full of scars. And every time he goes to fight, he gets a new scar. But other than that, he probably just had a flu one day, but he never really got.
He had the flu once.
Yeah, it's not really like anything very serious.
Fair
He
enough.
does have 2 bigger scars on his side over here, like on his hip.
Ooh.
I say for Boy doesn't really have any scars, but he's had severe burns on his like fingers and that kind of stuff and along his arms, and he has got quite a blushed face from like just being in the forge and just like hitting like fire so much. You think he is on par to getting arthritis in his hands just because of all the work he's done and never really gives himself a break and that kind of stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Is that everyone? Have we gone
Yeah.
through?
Yeah, last question.
It's
we
gonna have to
we
be a
have
quick one.
we have two actually.
I think it's just 90 because 84.
90. Oh yeah, 84.
we
Yeah,
already
you
did.
did. Yeah.
So who is your character's biggest rival? Rascal and Kia, y'all want to go first?
Kia. That's
Yeah,
just
Rascal.
maybe besides a party member, it's his sister.
Ooh.
Oh, that's adorable? Question mark.
Maybe in a stabby, murdery way, but kind
Yeah,
of.
no,
Also
it's not. It's that playful rivalry. Jesus words. It's that like you are higher up than me right now, and I'm okay with that, but still, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the sibling rivalry. You never say hello to each other. You just stand in the hallway at like a very
Yeah,
dramatic pose as a greeting, just
Yeah.
staring on
and then
us.
walk past each other and just be like, okay, that was a day.
Yeah.
Or in me and my sister's case, just walk past each other going, yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow.
But yeah, it's Kia and his sister.
Kia
What
and his
about
sister?
Reyna?
Rascal and his sister.
No, Kia and his sister are Rascal's two greatest rivals.
At the
Ah,
moment.
right.
I thought you meant
Ah.
Kia and Kia's.
Kia's sister, huh? New character I didn't know about. Reyna, Jesus. Good question. I think
Is it something like on a deep level? It's like
Themselves.
yeah,
Lolth, Corellian.
her mother's belief of who she is. She's always fighting.
Her stepfather, her real father.
Her expectation of her.
you're
is
pretty
her
close,
biggest
Becca.
one.
You're pretty close.
Big
It's
brain therapist over here in the corner.
it's not specifically her mother. It's mainly her family name. That's
Ah.
and other
Heavy
than that,
side.
Jesus, I really need to think about that one
Okay,
because there's no specific person she really.
it's the metaphor of being competitive with
Yeah.
what, like the expectation of her is. I'm gonna jump in quickly. Hattie isn't competitive at all long term. Like she's the kind of person who will be walking down the street and be like, I will get to the next street lamp before you will. But she doesn't have any like long-term rivals. So like
You want to see some real speed? Just like zooms across the fucking market square.
Her greatest rival
Just
is
sees a pigeon, just like I'm gonna fuck it.
greatest rival is what's his name? Fuck, now I forgot the NPC's name that Jenks plays. Something
Ardius.
starting with A. Ardius.
Yeah.
When she plays bumper carts with him in Candlekeep.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The upcoming rivalry.
It's still the image of like Hattie sitting on this
Massive.
massive thing because it's
Treating it like a
meant,
Segway as well, just like
Yeah.
leaning.
Yeah. It's meant for 3 medium creatures, and just one Hattie playing on that as like it.
Yeah.
The imagery is just amazing.
Yeah. I like the idea of also like having team bumper cars, so you like get your squad together on this. Yeah, and then with well, yeah, I've kind of answered for Kia, but yeah, no, Hattie isn't competitive in that way. She's like competitive in moments, like she'll finish her beer faster than you, or she'll finish her food faster than you, or she'll, I don't know, hit someone harder than you, but like it won't be like a prolonged rivalry. Anyone else have a character?
Yeah, we all have characters. Yeah.
Yes, we have a character.
The way that you went
Yes.
down was like, I don't know if I do.
I'm
have
trying
a
to
character.
I'm trying to remember them.
It's such a difficult question for me.
It'll be a bit simpler for Snipe because they did have a rival, but they no longer remember them. 'Cause the hag took it away. So I guess that's
I'm
simply.
so curious what that memory is. Like after this campaign wraps up or your situation wraps up, I feel like I really want to know what that memory is.
Yeah, I'll have to figure it out. Dive deeper into my because even I didn't know at the time what it was. But for Boy, his rival, I don't think he has a rival, but he would consider anyone who is like very similar to him in terms of like they are an artificer and they come from like a very like rugged background, hands craftsman, and like they're very much like him, but have got better legacy, like people know them and they're a bit more popular, he would designate them as his rival. Because he's just like, I am going to be well more famous than you with my invention. I will get here before you.
If Boy met Clara Hugh.
Oh yeah, if Boy met Clara,
Boy,
Clara Hugh is Boy's rival.
Cross campaign.
Yeah.
In a different universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Boy can sense that someone exists like that. It's just like, that is my rival.
Oh, but Boy's so soft and Clara Hugh would crush him.
Yeah.
Just kick him like a football.
Yeah. They're doing a Hattie.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not.
No.
That's just such a funny out of nowhere line.
Yeah.
It's just his exposition of little weapons as well, because like Boy's got Magnus, a huge thing, and Clara Hugh's got like the cannons, like Benjamin and that kind of stuff rocking around.
Yeah.
That'd be so good.
That would be really great, actually.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Kaya is...
The pause.
Yeah.
Kaya is... She can be quite competitive if she wants to be. She doesn't... Like, I mean, I guess she doesn't have any rivals in the classical sense right now, except if you maybe like her rival is Fate in a lot of ways, and she will definitely be competitive and try to prove that she's better than than most religious people she meets. So Reyna, in a sense, is her rival every now and then.
I'm so curious what will happen when Kaya and Reyna meet again after being apart for so long.
You're like,
if it
you know,
comes
my
to-
fate is rival. My rival is fate.
My favorite
Right, his rival. It's the tiger of the eye. It's the...
That needs to be a quote. That needs to be a quote.
Line, sink, and hook.
Yeah.
You really
God
knit the
damn
hail on
it.
the net.
You hit the head on the nail real well there.
I didn't come here for this mockery. It was just the way you were like.
We've had
My
some gems
rivalry is
today.
fate.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll beat you to the next lamppost.
Oh, slam.
Uh,
Okay, what were you trying to say?
Okay, look, we've established that I can't speak English. My greatest rival is the English language.
yeah.
Yeah. So what were you trying to say?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I think
She
I said
forgot.
it. Moving on.
It was
Right,
there.
so Kaya's rivals. Kaya, there was I don't remember her name. Their name. What was their name? There was a Gracie, I think their name was, which was someone in their performance troupe that they really got along with, but often butted heads with on like a playful sort of who can do the best acrobatic stunts way. And she's definitely sprained an ankle trying to show that she can one up this person every now and then. They're dead now, but you know.
Okay.
I
Well, that's
want
a
up the
problem
ultimate
fixed.
one-up.
Really how long that one. And technically they also died before Kaya did, so Kaya wins on that one.
Yeah, it's a
I
double
love
win. Not only did I
And
die
also-
for
yeah,
you,
they
I'm
did.
alive now.
So casual, like, yeah, she probably sprained an ankle trying to beat them one or two times, but they're dead now. So.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Mila could never have a rival. They would just let them win if anyone was competitive with them ever.
I just
So,
really
yeah.
want a moment with Neela, like later on in the campaign, where it's just like, don't you just want to go ape shit? And she just like unleashes the biggest fireball ever on everyone. She'll come to
Yeah.
that conclusion.
Anyway, I think that's where we leave this podcast before it
Uh-huh.
gets any worse.
We have devolved. We did a good job keeping on track most
Yeah.
of the way through.
Poetry Eyes Out Games actually complimented us on our ability to keep on track, which I
Oh.
think is an improvement.
Yes.
Yeah.
We kept the chaotic energy, but we used it in order to keep our track.
Yeah, there's a period in which it has to be released. There will always be part of the podcast that's like this.
And this
There
is
we go. As always, Saturdays Road to Eltero, Sunday Crimson Petal, Wednesdays.
Not this Sunday.
no, this
Not
Sunday.
this
It's
Sunday.
Easter.
It's
special.
Easter.
Easter special.
Easter
We're gonna just
special.
play bunnies.
Ooh.
We're gonna play bunnies. Rabbit folk.
You can
When does
also
this
just
happen,
see
Becca? Yeah, good question.
I just looked into our Discord chat and.
Okay, no, I'm gonna call
Oh,
you all out on
gross.
this. There is a channel, there is a text channel for woke quotes, of which
They are
it
pretty
started
woke.
out.
You have to admit. Like,
Yeah.
Once in a lifetime, they are said.
We read some of these woke quotes are so good. Like
Yeah, some
Yeah.
of these things include that put a smile on my face and a migraine in my head from Soph. I'm on the precipice of something by me, which is why we now name the podcast like it is. What sort of universe gets nervous when you look at it too closely?
The
I guess
fucking
breaking the laws.
Yeah.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, nice hole. Collective nouns are whack.
Ethos, logos, pathos, and tacos by
Yeah, that's still one of my
If you
favorite.
shot Stringinger's cat with Chekhov's gun, does it make a sound?
And today's edition has been twice, both by me. These are direct call-outs from my friends.
We're comrades at this point. We're
Yeah.
part of
Someone
the...
else's murder is very distracting, and rival is a fate.
They are pretty woke.
Yeah.
Pretty
They're
woke
woke.
quotes.
Make a
Or should
point.
it be quote wokes?
Okay, on that note, we're ending. We're not going to raid anyone because these fuckers are just. Thank you for
Yes.
joining. As always, Eltero, not Crimson Petal, because we're going to be rabbits.
Tune in
We're
on
gonna play
Sunday to
Easter
find
special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain more on Sunday.
Yeah,
More
we'll see what happens.
Please explain more. Please.
We also
Not
don't
now,
have
more
a,
on
we
that.
also don't have an idea what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.